we're talking about the second important thing that you need to have to become an effective professional host or MC, which is good rapport. Now, when I talk about good rapport, it talks about you as a person and how you relate to your audience and most especially to your client. Now, of course, the good rapport doesn't come out of nowhere. You have to prepare for it. Now, how do you prepare for it? When you prepare for good rapport, this is the time when you need to get to know who your client is. You have to ask them what they want, you have to ask them what they need, and you have to ask them on what kind of program do they want to have for their party. Because of course, you can't assume that your kind of party is the kind of party that they also want. And at the same time, when you get to know your client better, that's also a signal that you're also getting to know the possible audience that you're going to have on the day of the event. Now, if you don't try to get to know your client, then it will be very, very hard for you on the day of the event to actually present yourself and make people listen to you. When I say good rapport, it also means that you don't have to read from a paper. You know, when you read something from a paper or you read from a book verbatimly, for sure your guests will be bored. For sure they will not listen to you. And so the more that it's important that when you speak in front on the day of the event, that you're very spontaneous, you're very relaxed, simply because you know who you're dealing with, you know who your client is, and you know who the people you are talking to. And of course, part of good rapport is also about you and your personality. If you're a very well-rounded person, then I don't think it will be a hard time for you connecting with the people. So if you're not yet super well-rounded, I highly recommend that you start opening up yourself to all kinds of activities and experiences so that when you talk to different clients, you will also be able to connect to them easily. Now, good rapport is something that I work hard on very much. This is because I want to be able to make sure that my clients are comfortable with me as much as I'm comfortable with them. So I set up a separate day, preferably 1 week or even weeks before, so that I can have a relaxed time with my client and find out what they really want to have for their wedding or for their debut or for whatever kind of party that they have. This is the time when I get to know them personally, what they like, what they don't like, maybe if they're the bride and groom, how they got to know each other. This is the time when I also show myself to them on what kind of person I am. I've had some experiences that I don't have good rapport, or probably I didn't meet the client ahead of time. Some clients come up to me and say, okay, can you be my MC today? So when I do that, I only know their basic information, like their names, what's happening on their event, but not so much on who they are. So of course you can still go on and MC an event even though you don't have very, very good rapport with your client. But of course the kind of delivery will be limited to how you know your client as well. So that's why I personally recommend that you really work on the good rapport so that you are ensured that the whole event from start to finish, you're really connected not just to the client but also to all the guests. Now, for the first timers who'd like to go into MCing, don't be afraid if you're not so spontaneous from the very start, because MCing in a relaxed manner comes through time. What you need to do is practice and practice and practice. Join any kind of speaking engagements so that you can practice your confidence and your being relaxed in front of a group of people. And I would admit that even me, just 5 minutes before the event, I could still get butterflies in my stomach because, of course, you really can't take that away. But the more that you practice, the more that you become relaxed on how you speak and how you look like, then the better that you will become. So the second important thing that you need to have to become an effective MC is good rapport. Remember, you need to take the time to get to know your client. Up next, good timing. Another important point in order to become an effective MC.